So everyone, a big welcome to the Wit and the Grit show with Alka. This is season 2, episode 10. And we have the one and only, the chairman of Sports Grail Private Limited with us on the show today. A little different from generally we have a lot of, people from the educational sector, but he is also from the educational sector, but yes, he is really into sports and fitness in a big way. But I am not going to tell you about that. Let the gentleman speak. So first of all, a big welcome to you, Sanjeev ji.
Thank you very much, Alka ji, on this Saturday evening. It was a wonderful to have me on the show, and thank you very much. I am humbled and have a lot of gratitude towards my sincere gratitude goes towards you for hosting me. Thank you very much.
All right. So first of all, let's begin by asking you this question. Tell us something before you tell us about where you have reached now in life. Tell us something. Let's just go back, some pages. Let's turn back the pages of your life and go to the time when you were a kid. So your childhood memories, what were your dreams then? What were your passions? What were your most memorable moments? Kindly share those with all of us.
Yeah, if I say that I was born in a family which were into the textile business, we migrated from, when India got partition, we migrated. And then the parents first came to Kanpur, then to Delhi. And then we established in Delhi, where I was born in Old Delhi, Chandni Chowk, in a family which is a very large family. Old days legacy has been taught to us that to live in a joint kind of family, which is no longer a concept today in the modern life. People want to live their own life now.
Yes,
right. But the fun of living in a joint family, when you have a lot of cousins, lot of brothers, sisters around you to guide you, तब माँ बाप की जरूरत ही नहीं महसूस होती थी. हमारे cousin ही इतने होते थे, which were around you to take care of you, to guide you, to mentor you. Because practically, say for example, if you are 10 years old, so you have the children who are below your age, you have the children who are above your age. So you have all kind of experiences in the life. And if you look at, I was the youngest in my family, and where I have an elder brother and elder sister. And there is a lot of difference between me and their age. They were about 15 years and 11 years older than me.
Oh, really?
So, wow. Yeah. So I was a pampered child in my family. Oh. And even my uncles and aunts, they were really adore me for my chubby kind of cheeks and, red lips at that time. So people call me as a typical, the guy who has come from the very cold kind of nature, because I was very fair at that time. I'm no longer this thing, but yes. And my family was in textile business right from the day one when they migrated from the place. And but the one thing they have taught us that, to don't lose your moral values, always give us a very good sanskars, always give us a good learnings and preaching in life, that you love humanity, love each other, love kindness, and show the gratitudes. And they have always taught, my parents always taught me that all the 5 fingers are same. So irrespective is he or she is rich or poor, treat them equally, and you will reach far in the destination. I think I have actually groomed in that kind of atmosphere where money was no problem at all right from the day one. And being in a business community where father was the eldest, and he has many brothers and sisters, and whose responsibility were on his shoulder, because my grandfather expired very early in life. And when I was only 2 years old, he expired. So all the responsibility come on my father's shoulder. Oh. And right from the beginning, I have a lot of interest in studies. I always have a leadership qualities from the beginnings. I want to lead because of the Leo, the trait. I always want to lead. I always want to lead in class. I
Oh,
always
yes. The
lead in
sun,
lead in
leaders.
lead on stage, lead on singing, damshara, everywhere, singing in
Wow.
camps and stuff like that. So I think that was the basic essence of life. I was very, very hard worker. Where on those days there was no coolers, no luxury cars which were available. Since the family was so big, and my father and mother being the eldest in the family, all the relative when they used to come, I think every alternate days there is some relative or the other which used to come to our house. So I have no place to sit and study quietly. So I chose a rooftop which was close to a very small, the toilet side where I used to study. Even those days there were no inverters, there were no batteries, and the power cut was huge. I remember
So you remember
1983.
all these things? You
Yeah,
remember
I remember
things
all
very
these things.
vividly. Wow.
The moment I come from school, I'm a very good kite flyer. So
Ah,
I immediately throw my bag and immediately run to the roof and fly the cat. And my mother was after me to give me a glass of milk and biscuit and rusk or whatever. So while she was standing and I was flying the kite, and she was putting biscuit and giving me the one sip of
sips
milk
of
after every.
sips from the glass
That's
of milk.
that's right.
Yes.
That's right. So I think
Wow.
that's how we lived our childhood in a very pamper manner. But on the same time, I was very, very hard worker, always stood first in the class. And that's how although the belongs to the family which has Hindi medium kind of thing, but I took science and then got admitted to Delhi College of Engineering. So, but one thing I must say, that being belongs to the legacy, or being belongs to the old school of thoughts. My parents never restricted their kids and the kids of the family to do what they want to do. Like say, if I want, since a business, as you know that the in the older days, the person who is in the business community, he said, my life is secured. I will simply go and sit on a shop, simply go and sit on the showroom, which my
Yeah.
father has. I acquired the business after he moves on.
Yeah, this was a
So
mindset in those days.
this was
I
a
feel it's
mindset at
still
that
there.
time. Yeah, it's
Sajid ji,
still
I
there.
feel it's still there. Yes.
But my parents have never, उन्होंने, वो कहते हैं ना, कोई चीज को थोपना उन्होंने बिल्कुल नहीं
नहीं किया ना,
किया
बहुत
मेरे ऊपर,
बढ़िया. Very
बिल्कुल नहीं किया
nice.
मेरे ऊपर.
बहुत ही बढ़िया.
I want to pursue engineering and computers. I got into Delhi College of Engineering. Then I did my first MBA from Delhi Schools of Economics. I
बढ़िया.
did my second MBA from Bombay University. And
Wow.
imagine those days when sending a child outside your house, outside your city, is impossible.
बहुत ही
Our
बड़ी
parents,
बात थी.
yeah,
मतलब something that couldn't even have been thought about.
yeah. So my parents stood by me, although the entire family, including my uncles, aunts, and buas and masis, they say, it is a very simple कहावत in Punjabi that नोट पुनाया ते गया, मुंडा व्याया ते गया. उन्होंने कहा कि अगर लड़के को आप घर से बाहर निकाल दोगे, तो he will be out
बस
of your
अब हो
control.
गया.
But my parents they stood by me, and my father has personally went along with me, settled me in Bombay, and then he came back. So I think hats off to his thought at that time. So that was a reason that what I am today is because of his blessings, because of his hard work, because of his open-ended nature, and because of his blessings, which is given me from the top. Now he is no more. So I think that is a sanskar which I have also given to my son. He is now the founder of Sports Grail, where I am the chairman. And
Wonderful.
So that's how. And then I joined after my 2 MBAs in engineering. I joined the industry. I must confess that I am not from the sports background. I'm not from the education background.
Oh,
I'm pure
but you're always
technology.
into fitness activities. So
No, I am,
maybe.
but I am a pure technologist in the country
Oh,
who started his career with IT with a famous man in the industry, Mr. Tata's group. And
oh,
then I joined the telecom sector where I was involved. I was lucky to involved in the same team who was there to launch the first cellular call in the country in Calcutta.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
So I spent a good amount of time in IT, telecom, FMCG, the media and entertainment. I run the complete media channel as well for 4 or 5 years, and then moved into the hospitality industry. And then I think it was the year 2018 when I met Dr. Dev, who was running the sports management institution in India,
Okay.
and he met me in one of the conferences in India Habitat Center in Ashocham, where he convinced me that
Hmm.
sports is the life of limelight of everything, and that's how I moved into the sports. And even my son passed out from DPS Arkapuram and then from Amity University.
Hmm.
Although he took science, but he is very strong in writing. He has a knack in writing where he won several awards right from the childhood at the age of 7, 11, 12, 13, 14. So he has a knack of writing. That's how he said, I want to be in the line where I want to write for the sports fraternity, because he was very strong in the football, and whatever records you can ask him in cricket, in football, in other sports, he remember it by heart. So that's how he worked in the industry for about 6, 7 years. And then COVID has actually taught us to be of on our own feet. So about a year and a half, he thought of starting of his own venture as a digital sports media house in the world. And now I'm proudly say that the Sports Grill is doing fantastically well, as
Wonderful.
having a big team where we are always the chosen partners of all the events, conferences, the tournaments which are happening, very prestigious ones, and where I help them getting into those connections. But the team is very, very strong, and I'm proudly say that the Sports Scale is known in the fraternity for their value kind of content which they give it for the sport, and more so that we cover all the sports. So that is the beauty of
The
our
USP.
that is a USP. And the website is a bilingual support. It is Hindi and English. So I think that is the a sense of like, and my son also believes in hard work,
Uh-huh.
gets up at about 10 in the morning and work till 4 p.m. because you know that unless and until you give the latest news to the people 24/7, you will never be sustained in this fraternity. So I think that is the essence of
Wow.
I think
So
that's how I moved into this field. That's right.
yeah, so it's been a quite a journey for you, technology,
That's right.
IT, then you got into media, then you was hospitality.
Telecom, FMCG. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
all those. So tell me which one, I mean, I know this is a little tough, but which one was a little challenging and which one has been the most fulfilling?
I must say that because telecom was the most challenging which field which I see, because it has given us a lot of challenges, because no one knows, no one hasn't tasted the experience of how the cellular services or how the other services behave in India. So that was a real challenge, not for me, but that the real challenge for the country itself.
Uh-huh.
To and That's how the even the regulator, even the policymakers were having a lot of challenge to start these services, and to make sure that the whosoever is the investor, whosoever is a stakeholder, whosoever is the employer, they must sustain, and the industry must sustain. So I think fantastically the teamwork and the leadership were fantastic. We have a lot of sleepless nights where it is a lot of hard work from lot of mammoth kind of hard work from mammoth kind of people. So I think so that telecom is a real challenge in my life. While others, since I was in IT and telecom for good 20 years and transitioned from IT to telecom into FMCG into media and entertainment, where you don't know anything about it, was also a challenge. But yes, by then I learned the leadership qualities. I learned the management, how to manage the people, how to manage the teams, how to manipulate. There is also the word which I say, that how to manipulate the situations at that time. So I think the other tasks were little easier than the telecom one. And
So
now,
I'm
yeah,
so sorry.
please.
Yeah, no, please go ahead.
And now, since the connections are such, I'm blessed with a lot of good people around me, a lot of people who are helpful, a lot of people. But I always believe that the way you are, you will also find that kind of network, that kind of people in the earth. It is not that. It is not that difficult to find that kind of people. If you give love, I think people will also give you love and kindness, and they are there to help you out. So I think that is the best sense in my life. I always believe in give and take, and I always believe whenever there is a personal situation, I work with emotions. Whenever there is a professional relation, there are no emotions in business or professional relations. So I think
Oh wow.
that's how
I think one needs to be a little particular about these little nuances, because if one needs to have a successful professional
that's right.
life, then and one needs to keep the professional life a little different from the family
Absolutely.
one, and the
Absolutely.
personal one. Otherwise, it gets mixed up and it gets messed up. So I guess you took the right stand. You talked about leadership. We have seen a lot of differences and transitions in being a good leader. So a leader before the pandemic was different. I think there were different traits. Now, a leader in 2022, as per you, who do you think is a leader in the true sense of the term in 2020?
I think if I look at, there is not a much difference which I can see. I think the more importantly, you have to be more mentally strong,
Yeah.
and mentally strong to come up with a trauma, come up with a very difficult and unusual situations which we have faced for last 2 years. I think there were very tough times, very different, unusual situations where knowingly or unknowingly people went into depressions, people went into trauma, people went into various kind of thing, and they went into a homesickness. Even those who were actually away from home and they were not able to come out because of the lockdown situations. I think the leader, it is more of a mental balance which is required these days in a leader than the other time leader, which require more of a management kind of thing. The
Yes.
management is all which, but yes, the mental pressures, the one who cope up the mental pressures of the environment. I must say that the environment covers everything. It covers you, it covers your peers, your subordinates, your employees, your employers, your outside interactions, your outside world. So I think environment, if you learn to manage environment healthy, I think you are the true leader. So that is what I believe.
Absolutely. Very well said. Very well said. Now, tell me about, I know what you're passionate about, but besides all this, are there, one does spend some time with oneself, and you being
That's right. That's right.
you would definitely, it's I, me, myself for you at certain times. So in
That's right.
moments when you are with yourself, what do you like doing? Reading a book, singing,
Yeah, I
going for
think
a stroll.
being from Punjabi community, so you know that the Punjabis are more foodie. So because my mother were the bedridden at a very early stage when I was young. So I learned cooking at a very early part of my life when I was only 11, 12 years old.
Wow.
So cooking is one
What
of my
what did you
passion.
what was the first thing that you learned? Do you still remember?
The first thing which I learned is I cooked a dal, which is called Mung Dhuli dal, and then try to the knead the आटा, वो जो उसमें
Really?
पानी
At
ज़्यादा डाल
11?
दिया,
At
वो
11?
at the age 11,
Wow,
yes.
that's amazing. I mean,
Because
how to,
I know that that was I become the good cook, not by choice but by compulsion. So I must
so
say that.
you are also the chef. And, incidentally, your name is similar, it's synonymous with the name of the India's most famous chef, Sanjeev.
That's right. That's Sanjeev Kapoor.
So when you said chef, I said, oh my God, this is another similarity.
Yeah, there is a no the two because you कहते हैं ना एक कीड़ा होता है आपके दिमाग में. When MasterChef India started the first season in Star Plus, so I went and I was also the North India contestants at that time. So which was there started by Akshay Kumar and other people at that time.
Wow,
So
wonderful.
that was so I now regularly cook food at home.
अच्छा,
So
अब बताइए कि अभी आपकी स्पेशलिटी क्या है बनाने में, अगर मतलब आपका मन हो कुछ बनाने का सबके लिए, तो व्हाट इज?
देखिए सबके लिए बनाने के लिए तो being as a Punjabi, so I love to cook Punjabi food. The all kind of Punjabi food I can cook. But yes, वो कहते हैं ना पंजाबियों की आत्मा राजमा में, छोलों में,
कड़ी चावल, राजमा चावल, छोले चावल.
I prefer that. If you give me even for 7 days, I can eat for 7 days by keeping my eyes closed. So I think I am that
Okay,
fancy.
got it.
That
fancy. में आ गया. तो आप गाते भी हो?
Yes, you can say that. Yes.
What kind of music do you like?
I like the sentimental music, the Sufiana music, the music
Achha,
which has some.
दो lines from a favorite Sufiana song of yours.
मैंने दिल से कहा ढूंढ लाना खुशी, ना समझ पाया गम, तो ये गम ही सही. मैंने दिल से कहा ढूंढ लाना खुशी. जी.
Wow, ये तो बड़ा recent है, मतलब 2000 के शुरू में है. I think
मैं आपको बहुत पुराना एक सॉन्ग होता था which my father used to like. मेरे पिया गए रंगून, किया है वहां से टेलीफोन, हमारी याद सताती है, जिया में आग लगाती है. हम छोड़ के हिंदुस्तान बहुत पछताए, हुई भूल जो तुमको साथ न लेकर आए. हम बर्मा की गलियों में और तुम हो देहरादून, तुम्हारी याद सताती है, जिया में आग लगाती है.
वाह, ये तो आप पूरे मस्ती में गाते हो. हाँ, मैं यही. That's very good. अच्छा, बताइए कि अगर if you had to change one thing about yourself, मतलब one thing, would you change anything about yourself?
Yeah, I think it is basically a great learning from people around me which has given, because now I think I still say that we belongs to the legacy world. We are now aged. We belongs to those days when the trust to a person is really easy. People give words and they perform, and these days the value of words becomes zilch. People give words and they forget about it. They become very, very materialistic. So everything has to be very calculative. Everything has to be. So I think I trust people very easily on the face value, I think, which I need to change. My kids also tell me that, father, you have to change with the times to.
Child is the father of man.
That's right. So I think that is the one thing which I think that according to the situation, I need to change a little bit.
चलो, इसी से related, I have a question that.
जी.
It's a time machine. आप तो वैसे भी technologist हो. There's a time.
जी.
और अगर कोई decade में आपको दोबारा जाना हो या future भी हो सकता है.
जी.
Which decade would you prefer to go to? I mean, where would you travel back in time or would you travel forward in time?
I think the best thing when I was with my parents, when I was with the my uncles, aunts at that house still exists in Delhi, in the west part of Delhi. It's a very big house. So
Okay.
I think I must want to go to the childhood. So I think that was the best thing when
Wow.
we don't have the pressures, when we only have the pressure for studies. We have no other pressures to sustain with. So I think that is the best time when I need to go back.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
future I cannot predict. I think I always predict that
हाँ, क्या पता क्या होता है
whenever
क्या
I
नहीं
go
होता.
up,
We
I
don't
must
know.
live with Paris. I must live with the dolls. So I think that is the only dream which I have. That's it.
चलो, that's nice. अच्छा, now I'm going to give you a this and that. दो options दूंगी. You have to choose one. चाहे
जी
interesting हो, लेकिन आपको choose एक करना है.
जी जी जी.
Adventure versus comfort. कौन सा?
Adventure versus.
Comfort.
I think adventure. Comfort after a stage makes you
वो तो
lazy.
पंजाबी कर ही लेते हैं वो टाइम.
हाँ वो तो
है
मतलब
ना?
एक वो कहते हैं ना एक टाइम ਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਕੰਫਰਟ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੇਜ਼ੀਨੈਸ वो कहते हैं ना आलस वो कहते हैं हटाई पाप आ ਜਾਂਦਾ है.
बिल्कुल.
I don't want that. I always want adventure in life. I always want challenging life. I always want that there is something challenge नहीं तो life कैसी. So that is how
तो
the
मतलब you will go for adventure.
always.
अच्छा, अब दो, city or the beach, कौन सा? मतलब दिल्ली.
Beach looks very you know the attractive for some time, but city
लेकिन उसके
always
बाद
look attractive for all the time.
all
So
the
I
time.
must
So
go for
you'll
city.
go for city.
Always.
बात है, बहुत ही बढ़िया. अच्छा, next मेरे को बताओ. Would you like a short vacation or would you like a jungle trek?
Short vacation, because the memories of short one can always relate to your after a stage I become bored and I want to come back to from, because vacation means comfort.
Right.
So I don't want to be in comfort for a very longer period. The
Okay,
longer vacation
wonderful.
gives you more comfort.
बिल्कुल.
So I think as I
पता
said
चल
that
रहा, दिल से बात कर रहे हो आप.
yeah, as I
पंजाबियों की
tell
तरह.
you that
बिल्कुल,
I'm
मैं भी
always
पंजाबी हूँ. So बिल्कुल पंजाबियों के जैसे बात कर.
I know. So that's why I said I chose adventure over comfort. So
नहीं,
I always
बिल्कुल
believe
बढ़िया गल
that
कीती है तुसी.
vacations are more enjoyable. We always go for 2 days, 3 days trip, pick up a car and move to the hills nearby, Shimla, Mussoorie, Morni Hills.
अच्छा, इससे मुझे एक और चीज आई. आपको खुद ड्राइव करना अच्छा लगता है कि would you like to be driven by someone?
I think it is not that I prefer that the other will drive for me. Why the other should drive for me that I become the boss? So I think it is always a rala mila kind of thing. Always a
अच्छा,
joint.
रला मिला. अच्छा, पंजाबी वाली गल फिर आ गई.
रला मिला. It always joint effort. Always.
चलो चलो, ये भी ठीक है. अच्छा, अब एक खाने की चीज का पूछती हूँ.
जी जी.
मिठाई बहुत सारी टाइप की, जलेबी, गुलाब जामुन, रसगुल्ला, ये सब.
जी जी.
वर्सेस वो जो होते हैं ना, चाट, पकौड़ी, समोसा, टिक्की. अगर इन दोनों में से चूज करना हो तो which one would you choose?
देखिए, हालांकि ये दोनों ही मेरे फेवरेट हैं.
तभी तो मैंने
I
पूछा
think
ऐसा.
sweets becomes little tasteless after a time. So I go with chaat, pakodi, tikki. It has more variety. So always go
Okay.
for
All right.
chatpata. I am a chatpata person, spicy man, so I believe in spice.
चलो, बड़ा अच्छा है. अच्छा, अब आजकल के वो जो चलते हैं ना, वो जो पार्क्स, एडवेंचर पार्क्स वगैरह जो होते हैं, जैसे डिज्नी वर्ल्ड, तो अगर आपके पास चॉइस हो, फेरिस व्हील होता है एक तो, और एक वो होता है वो जो बोट शेप में ऐसे करके सीधा ऐसे.
हाँ जी, मैं समझ गया जी.
तो इन दोनों में से अगर कुछ फेरिस व्हील पूरा वो जो ऊपर से ऐसे करके चलता है, which one would you choose?
I think the boat is much better at least. उसमें आपको ये तो पता है कि आप नीचे आ रहे हो, एक एंगल से नीचे आ रहे हो. वो ऊपर वाला जो पूरा ऊपर लेके जाता है, नीचे लेके जाता है, मेरे में इतनी क्षमता नहीं है कि मैं ऊपर और नीचे लटक जाऊं. इतनी क्षमता नहीं है भाई.
मैं तो खुद घबराती हूँ और
मेरे में इतनी क्षमता नहीं है जी. आई एम वेरी ऑनेस्ट विद यू.
Chalo, that was nice to see that humorous angle to you, and a typical Punjabi.
I'm typical पंजाबी.
I could make
मैं
it
ऐसा
out.
आदमी हूँ कि मैं यूरोप में भी जाऊंगा तो मैं कहूंगा यार दाल मखनी कहीं मिलती है यहाँ पे तो वहां चलते हैं.
Exactly.
I'm that
Exactly.
typical पंजाबी. जी
बिल्कुल, ये बात आपने बहुत बढ़िया करी है.
जी. So I have many incidents when I was on a tour in the foreign country. I have many incidents with very senior people, so who were shy because other people were eating the Italian food, the other people were eating Chinese food and other.
तो आपने क्या किया? कोई वही किस्सा सुना दो.
मैं तो हम एक बहुत सीनियर लेवल मीटिंग में थे सिंगापुर में. सो आई हैव जो हिंडीट्रॉन की जो मारिको इंडस्ट्रीज की जो अपनी हैं उनके साथ में था तो उनको भी इंडियन फूड बहुत अच्छा लगता था. सो वो लेकिन कह नहीं पा रही थी, मैं भी नहीं कह पा रहा था क्योंकि सामने चाइनीज फूड आ रहा था, इटालियन फूड आ रहा था. तो व्हेन उन्होंने कह ही दिया कि आपके पास फ्राइड राइस हैं या कुछ हैं तो देन आई आल्सो जम्प्ड अप कि प्लीज फ्राइड राइस. आई आल्सो सेकंड. सो आई थिंक दैट वाज वन ऑफ द इंसिडेंट व्हिच टुक प्लेस एट अ वेरी सीनियर लेवल. ऐसे तो बहुत सारे इंसिडेंट होते रहे नीदरलैंड में, स्पेन में, ब्राजील में, यूएस.
Because you don't really get you get bland food. You don't get the kind of spicy Punjabi tadka shadka wala.
But I was blessed. मैं कहीं भी गया हूँ तो मैंने ढूंढ ढांड के निकाल ही लिया है. हाँ, क्योंकि वो
पंजाबी कर ही लेते हैं ना.
इंस्टिंक्ट होती थी ना कि यार पता करके कि यहाँ कहाँ मिलेगा यार.
और नहीं होता था
तो फिर अपना स्टोर पे गए, वहां पे जाके I used to take those places where it has a kitchen type of apartment or where I can cook.
Where you could cook.
That's right.
बहुत बढ़िया. मतलब आप ना मैनेज कर ही लेते थे.
हाँ, मैनेज कुछ ना कुछ जुगाड़ कर ही लेते. जुगाड़ होते हैं ना.
वो भी तो आता है ना, खाना बनाना भी तो.
हाँ, खाना बनाना आता है तो इसलिए टफनेस नहीं होती थी.
बस फिर तो बहुत ही बढ़िया होगा.
जी.
अब आपने, I mean, we had a nice little chat and we heard about all your journey, your breakthroughs, your challenges. अगर आपको अब एक मैसेज देनी है सबको, एक पावरफुल मैसेज अबाउट लाइफ, एज अ मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर, एज अ कोच, तो आप वो क्या मैसेज दोगे सबको, ऑन द विट एंड ग्रिट शो?
I think the message which I want to give to today's world is that live life because life is full of challenges. Don't give up life so easily. Don't become depressed. Don't become bogged up with the situations. Take the situation and divide. If you have 3-4 tough kind of situation at a similar time, divide those situation into parts and deal with them accordingly. Say मैं 1 से लेकर 4 बजे तक ये डील करूंगा, 4 से लेकर 7 तक ये डील करूंगा. लोग क्या करते हैं कि चारों सिचुएशन आ जाती हैं और चारों सिचुएशन को इकट्ठे लेके बैठ जाते हैं और उसको डील करना शुरू करते हैं. That ends up into depressions, that end up into challenges, that end up into lot of other struggles. So I think learn to cope up with what is given, because देखिए डेस्टिनी में हर चीज आपके लिए निर्धारित है, हर चीज आपके लिए लिख दी गई है. आपको किससे मिलना है, आपको I strongly believe in that.
Good, because I believe in it too.
आपको किससे मिलना है, आपको क्या करना है, आपसे क्या कल क्या होने वाला है, तो सब कुछ निर्धारित. वो कहते हैं ना, करता भी वही है, कारण भी वही है, लेकिन वो करवाता हमसे हर चीज. So that's how, if we normally believe that कि हर चीज हमारे लिए करता और जो कारण है वो प्रभु ही है और हम तो सिर्फ उसके एक सूत्रधार हैं जिन्होंने वो चीज करनी है. तो आई थिंक यू लिव हैप्पीली इन लाइफ कि भैया तूने अगर मेरे लिए चुना है सही रास्ता तो वो ठीक के लिए होगा. तूने अगर मेरे लिए चुना है इस समय कि टफ होना है तो वो किसी कर्मों के कारण होगा. So I think
yes, we need to keep the actions going. जैसे वो.
That's right. तो एक्शन प्लान जो है उसको इस प्रकार से बनाइए कि वो आपके दिमाग पे ना छा जाए. आप दिल से काम करें, दिमाग से ना काम करें, क्योंकि दिमाग जो है जब हैवी हो जाता है तो आपको बहुत सारी चीजें करने के लिए मजबूर
हो जाता है.
That's right.
You're right. Everything should come from the heart. I think अगर
absolutely.
तो कुछ गलती भी करते हैं तो लगता है कि कोई बात नहीं, हमने दिल से तो काम किया ना, और इससे
बिल्कुल 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 ठीक कह
so
रहे
I
हैं
guess that always works in one's favor, you know, when you're working from the heart,
आप।
when
जी जी
the
जी जी
heart, when you're doing things from the heart, and when you're enjoying life with whatever you have, you know, in front of you. That is the important part. और यही आपकी powerful message थी. So thank you. A big thank you to you. अच्छा लगा आपसे बात करके.
बहुत अच्छा लगा जी मुझे भी। आई थिंक अगर मेरे से कोई त्रुटि हुई हो, कुछ गलती हुई
अरे
हो
नहीं नहीं,
किसी के लिए
no
भी,
no
तो
no no, not at all.
आई
This is the witty show and the gritty show. आप जैसे
yeah, I know, that's why I become little witty in English, Hindi, Punjabi. I used all the
नहीं नहीं,
languages which I
अच्छा.
like.
I myself like using languages, so it was fun. You know, it was really fun.
It is real fun. It is real fun.
And keep you know, inspiring and keep doing the work that you're doing.
I always
It's
do.
amazing.
Thank you
So-
very much. Thank
so
you very
thank
much.
you.
Wish you a very nice weekend, and hope we'll be in
Connect
touch
again.
always. Always.
Yes
We'll
yes,
be in touch always.
absolutely absolutely.
Why after
ये
15
सिलसिला
days we'll keep
चलते
in touch
रहना
always.
चाहिए. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you
And
very
let's
much.
say
Thank
bye bye to everybody. Thank you so
you
much
very much. Thank you,
for
listeners. Thank you, Word.
joining, and whoever
Thank you,
will
Word.
watch the show later on. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much for tuning into the Wit and the Grit show, where I was talking to the very versatile Sanjeev Kapoor ji, amazing person. Please do drop in your comments, like, share, subscribe, as I always say, and stay tuned to more such episodes of the Wit and the Grit show with Alka.
Thank you very much. God
Thank
bless
you
all
so
of you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank
God
you.
bless all of
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you. Bye. Take care. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.